Welcome to Mega Hub. Today we fire up massive rare engines from the past. Huge, powerful, and roaring with sounds that'll blow your ears. Prepare for a blast of vintage power. For an air-cooled Onan diesel, starting at 8 degrees Fahrenheit with only 3 glow plugs, is like asking a tired veteran to sprint in snow, and she still pulled through like a champ. Hearing a freshly overhauled R2800 CB fire up is like hearing a World War II veteran take a deep breath after years of silence. Steady, proud, unforgettable. R4360, the final word in piston engine evolution, designed to push Stratocruisers and B-36s through the stratosphere with brute force. Blocking the injection pump to let it run on oil shows just how much abuse these old semi-diesels can endure before breaking. First produced in 1939, this engine powered legends like the F4 U Corsair and P-47 Thunderbolt with unmatched reliability. Fairbanks Morse flywheel engines are the unsung heroes of South Central Illinois oil fields. Running on wellhead gas, these sturdy power plants can keep pumping crude for days with minimal upkeep, a testament to their rugged industrial design. Starting a 6.2-liter diesel at negative 21 degrees Celsius is a brutal test. Cold soak hits every part, demanding serious battery and glow plug performance. The Rolls-Royce Griffin Mark 58 roars with 2,490 horsepower from 36.7 liters, a V-12 beast that powered post-war patrol aircraft like the Avro Shackleton. Watching this startup connects us directly to the golden age of aviation and the giant engines that made it possible. The Fairbanks Morse 20 horsepower Z just rolled out of the shed, a rugged, dependable engine built to last through decades of hard work. This 250 kilowatt Alice Chalmers 6-cylinder diesel powering an Onan generator handles 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold start like a champ. No heater needed, just raw mechanical grit. Only 6 to 7 glow plugs working and no block heater? That smoky start is a raw reminder of how cold weather pushes diesel tech to its limits. After being relocated, this massive Fairbanks Morse engine was successfully started just days before the 2009 Pottsville Tractor and Engine Show. Great timing. Detroit 6V92, TA roaring to life at minus 26 degrees Celsius. This turbocharged six-cylinder, two-stroke diesel isn't shy about belching thick smoke. It's just fighting the brutal cold.
Vorsicht.
This Wright R3350 duplex Cyclone radio once powered B-29 Superfortresses. Today it's reborn in Piet's yard, with careful carburetor calibration and constant CHT monitoring keeping its legacy alive.
And now he stopped.
That unmistakable bark of the R1830 firing up, like history cracking open its chest and letting out a war cry. Built between 1912 to 1914, this two-cylinder giant made 30 horsepower at the drawbar and 60 at the belt, enough to run a whole farm or a small revolution. Bristol's engineering pushed the envelope with the Hercules, mixing reliability with brutal output, a titan still admired by enthusiasts today. When you're pushing 1,500 horsepower out of a big block Chevy on a dyno, you're dancing on the edge. That piston didn't fail. It surrendered. This is mechanical violence at its most glorious. After countless spins of the crank, that fiery roar from the R4 360 is pure triumph, like a mechanical phoenix rising from smoke and sweat. The Cat 3 512, a powerhouse V12 diesel, roaring back to life after 6 years idle, testament to Cat's legendary durability and rugged design. Built in the early 1900s, the Z3 was one of Peerless's most powerful traction engines, designed to dominate vast fields with brute steam force. Hearing the R3350 and R4360 run together is like a duet between titans. 36 cylinders versus 28, both breathing fire, aviation's last mechanical symphony. This old Superior once fed air to a factory. Now it feeds the souls of engine lovers. 75 horsepower never felt this monumental. The ER2800 Double Wasp is a radial legend. 18 cylinders, 46 liters of raw power. Hearing it roar on 100 SF gasoline proves this classic beast adapts to modern fuels without losing its thunder. The 45 horsepower Honested No. 3 may not roar like a modern diesel, but its steady rhythm is the heartbeat of decades of marine heritage. R4360's shear size, close to 3.5 tons, and its multiple magnetos firing 56 spark plugs make every startup an engineering spectacle.
Oh my God. That sounded like a video.
The R4000-360's 28 cylinders arranged in 4 rows, combined with a displacement of 4,362 cubic inches, make it one of the largest piston engines ever built. The Ash 62's robust 30-liter displacement and single-stage supercharger set it apart. Watching it fire up is like hearing history thunder back to life. The Lycoming R680, introduced in the early 1930s, roars back to life with its 9-cylinder radial design. Delivering around 300 horsepower from 680 cubic inches, it remains a true marvel of early aviation engineering. This Detroit 2-cylinder, 2-cycle engine from Detroit Engine Works represents early American industrial ingenuity. Its compact design powered many machines with reliable, simple mechanics. Starting on methanol helps control heat and timing, but when nitro kicks in, the Linwood's power skyrockets with an ear-shattering bark and flame-spewing exhaust. This Model 32D's massive iron block and slow piston dance create that deep rumble you feel in your bones. Built when engines were as much about brute force as reliability. A mechanical giant. The flywheel weighs more than some cars today. That momentum keeps her breathing steady once she gets going. Pure mechanical poetry. This International Harvester prototype motorcycle is a rare glimpse into the 1930s industrial ingenuity. With its single-cylinder engine and rugged frame, it shows IH's attempt to diversify beyond tractors. The Monktel's two-cylinder ignition coil's slow-revving, high-torque design may seem primitive now, but it was the backbone of Scandinavian heavy machinery for years. The Detroit 5/16's two-stroke cycle produces an unmistakable rumble, a soundtrack to heavy work, while the Volvo BM810 provides the perfect chassis for farmer industrial tasks, a historic combo. The Rumley oil pull was a pioneer in using kerosene instead of steam or gasoline, making it an economical and durable workhorse. Barb's ride shows why these giants dominated farms for decades.
Building making a 35-7. He used to have a oil pull too, but his was a small one of those 25.
The rhythmic pounding of threshers at Butterfield 2024 echoes the hard work of past generations. These machines, some over 100 years old, still run strong, powered by history and passion.
Put a load on it and just really slow.
This giant hot bulb engine's slow, steady pulse reminds us how early engineers mastered fuel ignition without spark plugs, using heat and pressure alone. Ingenious simplicity in motion. What a ride. If those old engines impressed you, give us a like and subscribe to Mega Hub. Got corrections or ideas? Drop a kind comment. We're always learning.